Okay. All right. So today we'll see proxy chain setup and VPN setup, and we'll get inside basic commands which we are going to use in Kali Linux. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. I hope you are able to see my screen. Let me open my Kali Linux.
The screen's visible, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So let me log in. Okay. Don't worry about it. So did you guys install Kali Linux in your machine, or you didn't install it yet? How many of you have installed? Let me know in chat box. 3 people I can see, 4, 5, 6. I mean, oh, okay. Why is it getting delayed? Other people, whoever, out of 60 people, only like maybe 6 to 10 people have installed. What about others? Are you getting any issues in installation process? Or is it that you are not having enough requirements or so? Because if you are having a PC, then you'll be able to install Kali Linux. So I gave you alternative options too, right? If you are not having enough requirements with your PC, what is the alternative option? I also told you, right, at the beginning. Didn't I tell you guys? Did I tell you guys how to install Kali Linux? No? Okay. All right. So after setting up proxy chain, I'll tell you what are the requirements to install Kali Linux. It's very easy. It will take just 5 to 15 minutes maximum. Okay. It's very easy. I'll tell you the installation process. Follow that carefully, and also make sure that you match up the requirements. And also, if you're not matching the requirements, what is the alternative? I'll also tell you that. Okay, first we'll see proxy chain because we already started it. So we'll see proxy chain, and then we'll see installation of Kali Linux, and then we'll get inside our basic Linux commands. Okay, so that will be our agenda for today. Okay, so let's start with proxy chain installation. So if you guys remember, I told you to go to this file path, that is etc/proxychains.conf. Okay, so that is sudo nano is a editor. Okay, it's like a text editor. So nano etc/proxy chains. Okay, so guys, for few people, it is only proxychains.conf. Okay, remember there are for few people it might be capital P, proxychains.conf. Okay, remember this is case sensitive. So if it is capital, you have to keep capital. If it is small, you have to keep small letters. You have to use. Okay, so observe this carefully. So for few people, it is proxychains.conf. So how will you know whether this is the only file which you are looking for? How will you know is if you click enter. Okay, type password, that is your Kali Linux password. And if you get this blank graph, like you're not getting any content in it. Okay, if you get blank graph, that means this is not the file which you are looking for. Okay, this is not the file which you are looking for. So what you do is Control X. Why am I telling you proxy change.conf is? For few people this will work. Why? Because in their system the file is stored with this name, but in few people's system mostly it will be stored in small p. Okay, proxy chains for. Okay, remember this clearly. Proxy chains for.conf for few people. So if you click enter, this time you will be able to see all the data. Okay, this time you will be able to see data. If you are not able to see this data, if you type proxy chain for.conf and if you are not able to see this data, go for the alternative thing which I told you first, that is proxy change.conf. In that P is capital. Okay, is that clear, guys? Did you guys understand it? Yes. Yes. Okay. So here we are having three types of proxy chains. Three types of proxy chains, that is dynamic chain, strict chain, round robin chain. Okay. Out of this three, even random chain also we have. Out of this four, dynamic chain is preferable. Usually you will be having strict chain enabled. What is this hash, guys? What is this hash? Hash is representing comment. It will comment out that line, right? Hash means it will comment that whole line. So what you guys have to do is, in this dynamic chain, by default, you will be having a hash. Okay, and for strict chain, you will not have hash. That means you are using strict chain. By default, you'll be having strict chain enabled. So what you have to do is you have to add a hash for strict chain so that you are commenting out strict chain, and you have to remove this hash near dynamic chain so that you are going to use the dynamic chain. Okay, that is the first change you have to do. What is the first change? First change is remove the hash near dynamic chain and add a hash near strict chain. And then afterwards, if you scroll down, yes. So here, usually you'll be having a hash by default. Okay, proxy DNS request, no leak for DNS data. Do you guys remember when I told you about VPN and proxy difference? What is VPN and proxy major difference? Can you guys tell me? What is the major difference for VPN and a proxy? Proxy don't encrypt the data. Exactly. Right. So proxy will not encrypt the data. So because of that, what will happen? No matter how many countries we go, we send our data to, okay, it doesn't matter, because the reason is the destination will be able to see our data in a plain, it can see our raw data. In that raw data, they'll be able to see from where did we send data, from where did we, like our DNS information will be attached. So they'll be able to see our DNS data and they can easily find out that we are from India. So there is no point in using in proxy in that scenario. Okay. So that is the reason why, if you disabled this, if you disable, that means if you enable this, okay, that means you have to remove the hash. If you remove the hash in this line, it is going to at least try. I'm not telling you that it will not leak your DNS data at all. At least it will try up to maximum extent. So, so that if you disable, if hash is there, 70% chances are there that your raw data directly it will contain DNS. Okay, DNS leak will happen. But if you remove the hash, like 30% chances are there. Okay, it's not that 100% you are secure or so. Up to some extent, you can improve your security. That's it. Okay, and after removing the hash, that is the second change you are doing. Remove the hash, and then finally come down. After coming down, you have to add this line, that is SOC 5. SOC 5. SOC 5, basically proxies. In proxies, we are having HTTP proxy, we are having SOC 4 proxy, and we are having SOC 5 proxy. Do you guys remember I gave you a task to do research on what SOC 5 and SOC 4 proxies? Did you guys do it? Did you do some research on it? What is SOC 4 and SOC 5 proxy? If you didn't do, you can say no. If you did, then okay, script kiddie. Okay, what did you do? What is the difference between SOC 4 and 5? Can you elaborate authentication? SOC 5 has authentication. Okay. Anyone else? Only one person? What about others, guys? You didn't do. Okay, so let me know if you guys are interested in learning cybersecurity. Are you guys interested in learning cybersecurity? Yes or no? You let me know in chat box. Are you interested? Okay, I'm getting a lot of yeses. But if you are really interested, I can't see that only one person has replied. What happened to others? If you're really interested, why didn't you do research? Aren't you curious to know what is SOC 4, what is SOC 5 proxy? You might have never heard about those kind of proxies till now, right? Am I right or wrong? You might have not heard about SOC 4 or SOC 5. Aren't you curious to know what SOC 4 or SOC 5 is? SOC 4 support UDP proxy and SOC 5 doesn't. Okay, but maybe you might have, maybe few people might have just Googled it and are telling it that's another thing. But you know it internally that you might have not done it till now, right? So that's the I'm just telling about you guys to yourself that at what mark you are reaching. Okay, so this is just beginning, right? So in beginning itself, if you postpone things or if you don't do in-depth research on these things, then it will be very difficult for you in future. Definitely. So this is the field only for people who are curious to know things and who want to have lot of competition, okay, competitive spirit, or they need to have a separate a type of field where they have to keep on learning or they have to strive to learn something new. Okay, they have to have that zeal in them. So if you are that kind of person and if you want to have if you get into some cybersecurity jobs and if you want to have hands-on experience on it, okay, if you are someone who wants to use your knowledge to do work, then this is a good field for you and you have to do research. Definitely. If you are a person who just want to sit in front of computer and earn some 3 lakh or 5 lakh job, then it's not for those kind of people. Okay, I'm telling you frankly, I want to be open and I don't want to give false hopes for anyone. So this is the beginning stage. If I make it clear for you guys, at least from now, few people who are actually interested, they'll start learning about it. All right. So I'm telling you, this is a field which is very interesting one, and you won't feel bored if you are really interested in it. But if you are not interested, definitely I'm telling you, this is not going to work out for you. Okay. So keep this in mind. And at least from now, if I tell you to do some task, I'm not giving much work, right? Am I giving a lot of work for you guys? Am I giving any big works? No, right? Just a simple, simple things. These are all. What people are doing with SOC 5 proxy? If you have done research, you'll be able to know what kind of illegal activities also happens. out there, anonymous group. I might have told you last time, right, about SOC5. Like even anonymous groups will be using private proxies, SOC5 proxies, which are available only in dark web. Okay, what if it is available in surface web? What happens? Aren't you curious to know why is it not been? Why are people not be able to track SOC5 proxies? Okay, if it is available in surface web, ISP providers will immediately block SOC5. Why is it blocking? What what makes it different than others? Okay, how is it masking our identity? Even though without VPN, if you use SOC5 private proxy, it is going to mask our data in such a way that no one can track us back. Okay, people do carding kind of illegal activity. What is carding? Carding is where people steal your credit card, debit card information. They'll sell it in dark web, and people buy those cards, your CVV number and credit card or debit card number. They'll buy it and they'll do carding. That means if your credit card information is in dark web, anyone out there who will buy your credit card information, they'll buy your data and they'll be able to take money out of your account. Haven't you heard anyone who lost money from their bank and no one is able to track them back? Like, if you don't know, no one is able to track them back. At least, didn't you hear about people losing their money in banks? You might have heard, right? Many people, not exactly you or your cousins or anyone whom you know, they might have lost money from banks without them knowing. They didn't click any URL, or they didn't click on any QR code. They didn't click on anything, but still their money will be lost, right? How is it possible? These are all if you question yourself, you'll be getting curiosity to learn that topic. If you don't question yourself, then definitely it will not make any sense for you to learn. If you want, see, it's a simple funda, that is, everyone know that if we don't know the importance of some topic, we cannot learn about it, right? I'm not a guy particularly, I can't buy hard things. That's why I didn't score much in my BTech or in my inter or my 10th class. I didn't score much. In fact, I had 5 backlogs in my BTech too. I guess many people I might have told at beginning itself, right? So only thing which makes you different or makes you survive in this industry is curiosity. So please try to maintain that curiosity to learn things. And once you start getting that curiosity, no one will be able to stop. You'll get addicted to it. Okay, so I hope you understood it. And please don't just watch some IPL or so, or watch some Instagram and get addicted to it. No, it's just an algorithm. Once you open such social media, you'll stick to it for hours and you'll not even know time. So make sure that you keep your app locks. That means what I do is, even I'm in your position. So even when I open my Instagram or Facebook, I without me knowing, I watch the reels or so for hours together, or not maybe 40 minutes or 1 hour too sometimes. So what I do is, I'm just giving you a tip wherein I block my application myself. I even I'll not even take my the password also. I'll just tell my parents, please lock my they'll keep their password to that particular application. I can in our I'm using iPhone, so in iOS there is an option where we can lock our application. So I'll just keep a timer and I'll tell that you keep a password. I don't know the password. So I even though I want to unlock, I can't. I'm just giving you a tip so that you can concentrate on something which is useful for you. Okay, wherein you can't deviate from that, right? So please try to, at least from today, start doing research on things. This is going to give you a career. Okay, I'm literally telling you. I just took 40 hours of training, and I have got many opportunities. Okay, by cracking the international certification and all. But you guys are getting more than 100 hours, right? So that is going to be more than enough for you to cross the industrial standards. But only if you listen and if you try to, do something from your side only, right? I hope I'm clear to you guys. Okay, I don't want to be your class teacher or so. I just want to be a person who, it's like, just think me as your senior. Okay, maybe you guys might be in third year or fourth year. Maybe I'm 2 or 3 years elder than you, right? Just imagine or think me as your senior, and your senior is giving some suggestions for you. Okay, so I hope you'll take my suggestions, right? Yes or no? Sure. Okay. All right. So anyways, guys, I will leave this SOC 4 and SOC 5 to you guys itself. And I also told you one type of hacking which shouldn't be exposed outside. But there are many people who are doing carding. I'll tell you, don't get into such illegal stuff. Okay. But I'm telling you, one of the person who's studying in fourth year, I know him. Okay, so personally I know him. His friend of my friend, actually. We are all in same department, that cyber department. So that person, when we were in fourth year, he learned about carding. Okay, carding is a place where you can earn money easily. There are lakhs of card details available out there. They are called as bins, where people buy those card details and they'll do carding, like Paytm or Amazon. They'll buy products from fake accounts using that card. Okay, so if, as they are using SOC 5 private proxies, people will not be able to track them back. Okay, so that is how many illegal activities are happening. This person has done it. So remember that at beginning stages you'll be good. So he was earning around 12,000 rupees per day. Okay, like we don't they don't take out lakhs of rupees from one card. For example, carding thing, how it works is, they don't target on Indians don't target on Indians. They target mostly on out of India people, out of country. So same way, if Indians are targeted, if they are targeted by someone outside our country. Why? Because there is a loophole in our law. Okay, the loophole is, if if a crime happens, okay, in India, and if the criminal is in India, then we'll have lot of permissions to catch him immediately. Okay, we can take action and catch him immediately. But if a crime happens out of India, then just leave about it. Even though you lost 1 crore, no one is going to give a damn about it, because the process, we have to apply for our we have to send application. Even though we work for government or even crime department people, they have to send a notice, petition to the court, and court should accept, and international court should accept. They have to sign, and they have to give us permissions to do to go out of country, or to do some investigation out of country. They have to, international court should also give permissions. So meanwhile, this is going to take, right, how things work. For getting all these permissions, obviously it is going to take a lot of days together, a lot of weeks. By then, hacker will be somewhere else. Are you understanding how things are working, how crimes are happening out there? So out of India, like usually international crimes only will happen. Okay, so this is a law, this is a loophole in our law. So if we want to take action against a crime which has happened outside India, then it is going to take forever, and just think that it is not going to happen. Okay, it is waste of your time. If it is happening inside India, then chances are high. Okay, now the thing is, let's say Indians are there. What they'll do is, they'll take card numbers of someone in US. Okay, US card numbers and all, people who are in US. So they'll take those US card numbers and all, and they'll buy some products, or they'll take out money, or PayPal carding or Amazon carding and all. They'll take out money like 2,000 to 4,000 maximum. They'll not take more than that. because if they take more than 4,000 means it's like 50 dollars or so for them. So if they want to track us back, it will cost them a lot of money. So most of them will just leave it just like that, because it's a big process for them to come back. So for $50, they don't, most of them won't, care about it. But there will be some crack candidate, even though they lost $50, they'll be like, who is having that guts to touch my bank? Okay, I'll spend even $5,000 to track someone who just stole $50 from my account. Okay, there are some people like that also in other countries. Even in our country also, there will be few people. So if you come across those kind of people, then at least at some or other point, you leave a trace. Maximum cases, SOC 5 is literally, it's not traceable. But at some point of time, your data might, I'm not telling it will, it might get leaked. Okay, so even one clue they get, they'll be able to track you back. Okay, it can be anything. We can't say that this is a particular clue he left or so. People who are in forensic department who does this kind of activity, they'll have some idea about it. But I'm just telling you, as I am also having some touch on forensics, I'm just telling you that what happens is basically even they'll just try to look. So for example, what happened is with the person whom I know, he was taking 4,000 from one card. Okay, literally after few months, okay, after taking, he took like 4,000 to 12,000 per day from different cards. And after a few months, he got greedy. He was like, hey, no one is coming after me. Okay, let me just, pull out some 12,000 or 50,000 or something like that. So he took out 12,000 in one account itself. So the unfortunately for that, this person, that the other person, the victim was a little cracked and he was having some influence. So ultimately he got traced back. Okay, he left, some clues were left. So they caught him, and they booked an FIR against him, and he was detained from his college 4th year. So he got discontinued, and he'll not even get security guard post. He's not even getting any guard post also is not getting out there. No jobs for him because of an FIR against him. His life is ruined. So, but still right now he's doing same thing again, PayPal cardings and all, because he's left with no other choice. Okay, but we can't also interfere in his personal things or so. But I'm just telling you that there are many people whom we saw, once they entered inside some illegal activity, their life is gone. Okay, at beginning it was like they are getting hell lot of money, but eventually they lost everything. Okay, so don't get into such stuff, but it's okay to learn about it, to do research on that. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood what extent we can go in cybersecurity, right, in research level. So it will be very interesting actually to research on all this stuff, but you have to have that curiosity. Okay, and a few people will be asking how to know where he is, or any kind of question. Guys, don't think that any hacker can track anyone they want. No, it's not like that. Until and unless victim interacts with us, we can track them. So, like for example, I'll send a link to victim, and if victim clicks on that link, then I will get the location. But it's not that someone gave the hacker a phone number and ask him to track that person. No, those tools will be only available with forensic department, and there are someone called nodal officers. Have you ever heard about nodal officers? Nodal officers? No. Okay, so for every region, there are nodal officers. It is important for everyone to know. Why? Because in future you might get into some trouble with some cyber crimes, or some girls might, someone might blackmail for boys or girls, anyone. Okay, usually if you want to track that person back, first thing what you have to do is first you have to book an FIR against that. Okay, that FIR number, if you give it to the crime department, they will, ask the nodal officer. So nodal officers are those who will be sending a request to ISP provider, internet service provider, or they can also have what they'll do is they'll just they as they have worked for government, they'll have tie up with ISP. All ISPs should give information to this government. All right, so that is the obvious thing. So government access they have to give. Okay, why? Because some illegal activities happen. So when illegal activities happen from government, if a notice will go to ISP, then ISP will be giving the information to them. Okay, but anyways, forensic people will be having tools where they have connections with them. So what happens is, if your mobile phone is lost, what they'll do, they'll keep your IMEI number in track. So if your mobile phone is switched off, then no one can do anything. Even forensic department, they can't track your mobile phone back. But if at all they switch on your mobile phone, your IMEI number will be getting you'll give IMEI number, right? So they'll keep that IMEI number in track. So once your mobile phone is switched on, that IMEI number will get triggered, and nearest cell tower will send a signal, and they'll get to know in which area the robber is. Okay, the thief is. Okay, not only that, even if you give phone number to them and tell them to track, they'll ask ISP provider. ISP provider will give them information. Okay, if a hacker will go and ask ISP provider, give me this information, or if someone, a normal person who is not working for forensic department, if they go and ask, will they give? No. And maybe there might be some backdoors where you pay them in back end and all that happens anywhere. But yeah, officially you can't go anywhere and directly, tell them that I have this number, please track me and give information. No, customer confidentiality is their main goal. Okay, for any organization, you can't simply go and ask. Are you understanding the concept behind it? Okay, so don't expect that if you become a hacker, you can track anyone you want. No, it's not like that. Maybe you can send a link to that victim, and if victim clicks on this, you will be able to track, but not with some mobile number or so. Maybe your friends will also be asking you in future that if you are learning ethical hacking, can you hack my friend's account, or can you, track the location of someone? So if you have to have an answer to tell them, so you have to know what exactly is happening outside. Okay, so now you got to know who nodal officer is, so whom to actually approach, right? Yes, it really happened. Yeah, it happens to me every day. Some random people, 5 or 10 people will ask. So I know that. So if you tell outside that you are some cybersecurity or ethical hacker, they'll be asking you these questions only, because their perspective is different, right? So they don't know what is happening in here. So at least if you being in this field, you have to understand what is happening first to explain them, right? Okay, so anyways, proxy chain, I hope till here you got, there are only 3 changes you have to do. So after doing all these changes, you have to click Control O to write this file, and click enter, and click Control X to exit. Control X to exit. Now your proxy chains configuration file is configured. It's done. Now what you have to do is you have to run this service. There is a service called Tor service. Sudo service Tor start. Okay, sudo service Tor start. Sudo means super user. Okay, if you are using sudo means super user. That is administrative rights you'll be getting. Okay, super user permissions you'll be getting. Click enter. So enter password of your Kali Linux. Enter. Okay, so if you are getting fail to start Tor service, okay, if you are getting this issue, fail to start Tor service, what you have to do is you have to update and upgrade your repository. Okay, you know, right? I'll tell you. Sudo apt get update. Okay, sudo apt get update, and after click enter. So it will update your repositories, and after completing this update, you have to upgrade. Okay, so it will update and upgrade your repositories. So all the tools and repositories will be up to date. Right now, I'll not update and upgrade because it is going to take at least half an hour or 1 hour or 3 hours also for some people. Okay, so guys, don't do it at night time. Do it at daytime because your system will be switched on, right? Because it will take longer time for some people. Depending on your network speed, it will vary. It will take longer time for few people. Okay, so update and upgrade your repository so that you can start the service, Tor service. But I'll just try one other way. Okay, so I'm trying another way. So I'm just installing the Tor service. Okay, sudo apt-get install Tor. See this command to install the service called Tor. I just sudo apt-get. Apt-get is a package manager. Okay, and I'm saying install Tor. So Tor service is installed. Okay, my installation is done. If you are getting any issues with the installation, you have to definitely update and upgrade your repository and then run this command sudo apt-get install Tor service, Tor. Okay, now once Tor is installed, you can just say sudo service Tor start. So I'm starting this service called Tor. Now, once I started, I'll see status. I want to confirm whether really Tor service got started or not. Okay, status. And if you are able to see, guys, can you see? Status is active. Okay, it is in an active state. So basically we have our setting up the proxy chain is done. We have done the changes in configuration files, and then we have installed this service called Tor, and then we have started this service called Tor, and the Tor is active. It is an excited state. Okay. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be simply saying proxy chains. Okay, proxy chain. If you want to open a browser like Firefox, just type the browser name, Fire. We are having already pre-installed Firefox browser is in our Kali Linux. So I'm starting up Firefox. Okay, if I want to open a particular website also I can open. Let's say if I just type Firefox and click enter, only Firefox browser will open, a default one. But if I type www.facebook.com or any website, if I click enter, so it is not only going to open the browser, it will also open that facebook.com. So can you guys see this? Facebook. Okay, now if you are able to see in here, can you see this? My dynamic chain has started. Okay, so I'll just say accept. Okay, so just see this. I'll keep it aside. I'll just open some other thing. Let's say Insta. Okay, some Instagram.com. If I'm clicking, so guys, can you see here proxy chain Instagram.com 443 port number is HTTPS. Okay, so are you able to see how the proxy chain is working? You are able to see this chain, right? So whatever website you open, it will go through this proxy chain itself. So I'll just check out. just see my IP. Okay, so I'll click what is my IP address. Okay, so guys, can you see this? What is my country which is showing? What is my address? What is my address? Anyone? You can see Sweden, right? So if you are able to see, I'm from India, I'm from Hyderabad, but it is showing me I'm from Sweden and from some other region. Okay, so can you see the service? Or so are you able to understand? Basically, what is happening is this IP address which is there when you are using proxy. Okay, that you are using proxy chain. So you will be traveling through, your request will be traveling through different country. So the last country which my request went is, that is Sweden. From Sweden, it has reached Instagram or Facebook, whatever I have opened, Facebook or Instagram. So the last country from where my request went to Facebook or Instagram is from Sweden. So that is why my Facebook or Instagram or anyone will be thinking that I am from Sweden, not from India. Okay, right? Got it? So that is how your proxy chain is working. Only traffic through Firefox will travel through Sweden from this proxy chain, because proxies are application dependent. Okay, proxies will only work in one application, but VPN is application independent. So it will work for multiple applications. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that is also a major difference. I might have told, right? I might have already told about when I told VPN and proxy difference. So this is also one major difference, not only encryption and decryption, this one also. Okay, so anyways, did you guys understood how proxy chain, how to set up proxy chain and all? If at all, for few people, what happens is the troubleshooting I'm telling you. For few people, what will happen is if they tell proxy chains and if a browser, if they type, okay, so immediately it will start and it will get stopped. Okay, you will not get this kind of line. You'll not get this kind of list, whatever website you visit, like Instagram or any, you'll not get this whole thing. Okay, in that scenario, what you guys have to do is restart your system, restart your Kali Linux and start again, start the proxy chain again, and make sure that in Firefox browser, go to settings, that is go to preference. In preference, go to network settings, and here enable this system proxy. Okay, you just enable this, use system proxies, and sometimes if you don't have system proxy enabled, it will not work sometimes, proxy chain. So that's why just enable system proxy, click OK. Now what will happen is chances of proxy chain working will be more. So this is the only issue in proxy chain. Sometimes few times what will happen is it will not, when you start it, it will not work sometimes. So you have to restart it. Okay, you restart your system so that once you start it, maximum cases it will work. Okay, I am just telling you troubleshooting, because you might get maybe out of 100 people, maybe 1 or 2 people or 5 people might get that issue. Okay, so that's troubleshoot. But yeah, I don't want to be a spoon feeder. Okay, I want you to be self-dependent, but as this is beginning, I'm telling you, like I'm just peeling you banana and giving it to you. Okay, you have to peel your banana for yourself. I just tell you that this is banana, so you have to peel it. Okay, so try to troubleshoot. It will be very interesting, Be in a mindset where if you get an error, maybe you'll run a tool in future. If you get an error, be happy, because if you solve that error through Google or through Stack Overflow, any website you visit, solve that issue, you'll feel very good. And also that experience will be there with you for longer time, and you'll remember that for longer time, and you'll get more concept than people who didn't get any issues. Okay, if someone is not getting any issues, if everything is going smooth, they are the one who has to be worried, because they are not learning more. If you are getting issues for everything, then you have to be happy. Okay, so be in that kind of mindset. Right. So anyways, I hope you understood how to set up proxy chain, right? I am switching off by saying Control C, that is to exit. To end any task, click Control C or Control Z to end any task. So anyway.